Did you call bank? I call game.
What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here. Free agency started just 2 days ago, and so many trades have happened, so many players have signed to brand new teams that it's going insane. And what I want to do in this video is preview what the roster is going to look like for NBA 2K20. Not everyone has been traded or signed yet. Kawhi Leonard hasn't picked his place yet, and Boogie hasn't picked a place yet. Then again, no one's picked Boogie yet, to be fair. But those are two players that are pretty big that haven't been assigned anywhere. But we're just going to ignore them for the moment, and everybody else isn't too important, so that's fine. I'm going to go team by team and talk about my opinion on each team and how good they're going to be and how good their team looks in NBA 2K20. Before this video starts, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and subscribe. Another thing is that if you're excited about NBA 2K20, well, then I have some news for you guys. I'm going to do my biggest giveaway ever. I'm giving away 5 copies of NBA 2K20. I know it's a little early, so we gotta wait till we get there, but I'm gonna start talking about it today. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is follow me on my Instagram on packgaming.yt. You do that one thing, I'll put all my followers on Instagram and I'm gonna put them in a randomizer, and 5 of them will win a free copy of NBA 2K20. I'll be doing 1 Legend Edition and 4 regular editions, and giving them away when NBA 2K20 finally comes out. So again, just follow me on Instagram and you could win the giveaway. Now, I'm going to start with the Philadelphia 76ers as always, and this is just a discussion video, not a lot of editing, a lot of just me talking. Let's go. So, with the Philadelphia 76ers, they just got Al Horford. Al Horford decides to not resign with the Celtics and go to the Sixers, a team that already has a center and a power forward. That's kind of weird, but Al Horford decides he wants to play for the Sixers, is considered the 3rd best player on the team, ahead of Ben Simmons, which I disagree with, and tied with Tobias Harris at 86 overall. Obviously, this needs to be updated, right? Josh Richardson is also on the team as a shooting guard, considered the 5th best player on the team as an 81 overall. That's a great pickup for the 76ers and fills the shooting guard position. Now, if we look at the team, starting point guard Ben Simmons, shooting guard Josh Richardson, small forward Tobias Harris, Al Horford is the power forward, and Joel Embiid is the starting center. Everyone on the starting lineup is in at least the 80 overall club, and that's a really good start for the Sixers. They might even make the NBA Finals this season. The next team now is the Milwaukee Bucks. Now they have their same core, but they now have John Lure and also Wesley Matthews. They're making their bench even deeper. They also kept a lot of players and now have Robin Lopez on the team. So when you look at the starting lineup, John Lure has sneaked in at the power forward position. And I feel like that's a pretty good pickup for them. They lost Nikola Mirotic because they decided to go to Europe for reasons, I guess, but the Bucks are still doing okay, and they recovered from losing Nikola Mirotic. They also can make the NBA Finals next season. Now for the Bulls, they still have Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen. They also have Otto Porter, that's 380 overalls on the team. They have Wendell Carter Jr., who did pretty solid, and they picked up Thaddeus Young. That's a pretty solid pickup for the team. And they also drafted Kobe White and picked up Thomas Satoransky. I feel like they filled a lot of holes that they had in this team, and now it's looking pretty solid with Kobe White as a point guard, starting point guard, Zach LaVine shooting guard, Otto Porter at the small forward, Lauri Markkanen power forward, and then Wendell Carter Jr. at center. If Kobe White does really good, their whole starting lineup could also be 80 overalls. That's a great start for the Bulls as well. They might even make the playoffs this season. They might. Now for one of the worst teams, it is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're in a predicament. First of all, they want to trade Kevin Love. That's what they're trying to do. They have Darius Garland, who's someone they drafted, and that's it. They picked up nobody in free agency at all. Their starting lineup of Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Cedi Osman, Kevin Love, and also Tristan Thompson is not great. And assuming they're losing Kevin Love, it's Larry Nance Jr. on the power forward position. Not a great team. Arguably one of the worst teams in the NBA. Sorry, Cavs. But now the Celtics get Cardiac Kemba. Cardiac Kemba is now the best player on the Celtics, apparently. And he's a replacement for Kyrie Irving. Kemba Walker is the closest thing you can get to Kyrie Irving, but he probably won't make as many issues in the locker room, arguably. I think it's a fine pickup for the Celtics. It'll work, I think. Jason Tatum's their 2nd best player with Jaylen Brown, and they pick up Enes Kanter, who was the hole in the center position that they now have. They also now have Taco Fall, who's not on the team yet, but that could also fill the center position if they needed to. So now they have a starting lineup of Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, and also Enes Kanter, all in the 80 overall club, and their bench is not the worst bench in the world. Marcus Smart coming off the bench if he's staying. It's a good team for them. They could also make the NBA Finals. They just might be able to. It depends how well they're coached. We'll see how that goes. Now for the Clippers, Montrezl Harrell, Danilo Gallinari, Lou Williams have all stayed with the Clippers and re-signed, as well as Patrick Beverley, who also re-signed. And they still have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's a good team still. They're crossing their fingers. They're like, please let them get Kawhi. They might just be able to. If they get Kawhi, they replace Maurice Harkless with Kawhi, and you still have a ridiculously good team. Arguably one of the best teams in the NBA with Kawhi. But it all depends if he decides to go there. They still have Landry Shamet. It's just they're putting all their chips in for Kawhi. It depends on if he goes there or not. It's a big question mark. The Grizzlies didn't really get anyone. They drafted John Morant, which is a good draft pick for them. Besides that, nothing. They have Andre Iguodala, but he's expected to get bought out to go to the Lakers. That's what's expected to happen. There's really nothing else to say about the Grizzlies. Starting point guard John Morant, Avery Bradley, shooting guard. It's not going to be Iggy. It's Jay Crowder, small forward. Jaren Jackson Jr. Great player, I think. He could probably step up next season, but even with Jonas Valanciunas and them, I still don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs next season, honestly. With the Hawks, they also don't really get anybody. Trae Young, John Collins, Alex Len, DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, and they traded for Evan Turner and also Alan Crabb. But still, the team's not looking great. They think it's going to be Trae Young, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, who's a great player, and Alex Len. Is not going to get them very far. Who knows? They might surprise me. They did pretty good sometimes this season, but I don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs this season. But the Miami Heat made moves. They just got a great pickup in Jimmy Jordan. Now, the best player on the Miami Heat, 88 overall. That's a great pickup for them. Goran Dragic is still on the team. Justice Winslow, Bam. Kelly Olynyk is still on the team. They traded Hassan Whiteside, but still, I don't think this team is that bad at all. Starting point guard, Goran Dragic. Jimmy Butler, shooting guard. Justice Winslow, small forward. Bam, power forward. And they traded for Myers Leonard, who's a center. And he did pretty good in the playoffs. Well, he did okay in the playoffs last year with the Blazers. So I think that's a pretty good pickup for them. They got to keep Derrick Jones Jr. and Dion Waiters. And Tyler Herro did really good in the Summer League so far. So I think they got themselves a nice little team going on. Let's see if Jimmy Butler can lead them to the playoffs. So we'll see. Now, the problem is the Hornets. So apparently Cody Zeller is a 79 overall. I don't know how true that is. I'm using someone else's roster, which apparently they don't touch, but Cody Zeller is a 79 overall for the Hornets for some reason. Willie Hernangomez 78, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist 77, Bismack Biyombo 76, Marvin Williams 76, Malik Monk. The only player they got was Terry Rozier 75. Their starting lineup is Terry Rozier, Malik Monk, Miles Bridges, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and Bismack Biyombo. Or it should be Cody Zeller though, because he's the best overall player in the team. I think this team might be the worst team in NBA 2K20, unless Scary Terry can do amazing. But even then, I don't know if they're going to do anything next season, fam. But the Jazz are actually raw this season. Their best player is Rudy Gobert. They picked up Mike Conley and Bojan Bogdanovic, two great players they were able to steal. They have Ed Davis, who's not bad. Their starting lineup is Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Joe Ingles, and Rudy Gobert. They almost have a complete 80 overall team. They're like right away. I mean, Joe Ingles has been an 80 overall before. So if he steps up next season, they can have a ridiculously good team. The Kings just re-signed Harrison Barnes. That's really it. And they also pick up Trevor Ariza, which is a good pickup for them. I can't deny that. Their starting lineup isn't going to be very different. The only pickup now is Dwayne Dedmon at center, and that's like it. Now for the team that's completely different. My Knicks. Julius Randle's an 85 overall. No, we didn't get Kevin Durant. No, we didn't get Kyrie, but I have hope, okay? Julius Randle's our best player, 85 overall. He's a good player. I think he's definitely good enough. 24 years old. I'm happy we got him in his prime and next 3 years. I'm happy with that, okay? RJ Barrett's a good prospect who's 19 years old. I'm excited about him. Bobby Portis puts up good numbers and is young, and he has a pretty cheap contract. Taj Gibson is a professional player that does a good job. Even though we all make fun of him, he's a good player that's always done good for his position. I love Mitchell Robinson. We have Elfrid Payton, and you might be making fun of Elfrid Payton, but you know what, dude? This is better than Frank Ntilikina. We have Dennis Smith Jr., who should be our starting point guard. And we pick up Wayne Ellington, which is like, okay. But just look at that. Okay, Dennis Smith Jr. is our starting point guard. There's a chance that he could be really good. RJ Barrett's our starting shooting guard. There's a chance he could be really good. Kevin Knox is our starting small forward. There's a chance he could be really good. Julius Randle is really good. And Mitchell Robinson is really good. I have hope that we can make the playoffs. I don't think it's impossible, but I think it's really hard. And our bench isn't awful. We have Bobby Portis, we have Taj Gibson, we have Elfrid Payton. Damian Dotson played really good last season, and Alonzo Trier also played really good last season. And Wayne Ellington isn't bad. And we also have Reggie Bullock, who cares? We don't have a bad team. It's whether or not we can coach them correctly. I have hope. So I could make an entire video about the Lakers because honestly, dude, I don't know what's going to happen with them. They're crossing their fingers. They're going to get Kawhi Leonard. But if they don't, they have LeBron, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, a great big three. But this is the problem. After that, you have nothing. Alex Caruso is your starting point guard, which I don't think he's bad, to be fair. I think he's okay, but not a starting point guard. Halen Horton, shooting guard? Who? Maybe Troy Daniels, but he's kind of short for that position. They have no one. They need to figure this out really quick. If they're going to want to win anything, they're going to need a better point guard and shooting guard for sure. And their bench can't be completely awful. They're going to need to figure that out, guys. The Magic aren't too different. They re-sign players that you'd expect to re-sign. And then they also pick up Al-Farouq Amino, which is like, why not? And they keep Markelle Fultz. So the starting lineup should be DJ Augustine, Evan Fournier, Jonathan Isaac, Ron Gordon, and Nikola Vucevic. That's what it's looking like so far. The Mavericks were supposed to have a really good team, and now they just have a pretty good team. So Porzingis re-signed, yeah, whatever. They have Luka, JJ Barea re-signed, Dwight Powell re-signed. The only player they got was Seth Curry. And I'm not dissing on Seth Curry, but think about this, guys. They could have had Goran Dragic on the team and actually had a pretty solid team. And they could have signed like Nikola Vucevic or maybe another center, maybe even Boogie. But no, they have JJ Barea, Tim Hardaway Jr., which isn't a great one too. You have a great Doncic, Porzingis, and then you have Dwight Powell. That's not enough to win anything next season. So I don't know, man. Jalen Brunson might be your starting point guard instead, but they're going to have to figure that out too, guys, because that's not good enough. Now, for the Nets, okay, you have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, who's injured by the way, but still, they got Kevin Durant, DeAndre Jordan, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen, all in the 80s, Karis LeVert, who's also been in the 80s, Joe Harris, who's good, Taurean Prince, who's raw, Rodions Kurucs, who had a good season for the start of the year. The Nets are raw. I can't even fight that. Kyrie Irving, starting point guard, Karis LeVert, shooting guard, Taurean Prince, small forward, and it will be Kevin Durant whenever he's injured. Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan, I don't know if they're going to want to make him a power forward or what they're going to do there, but as soon as Kevin Durant comes back, this is arguably the best team in the NBA, arguably, and it's annoying. The Nuggets keep the exact same team, so just ignore them. And here's a sleeper team, okay? The Pacers did in fact lose Bojan, but they now have Malcolm Brogdon, and they also have TJ Warren and Jeremy Lamb. So look at this. The starting point guard is my president, Malcolm Brogdon. Oladipo should come back. TJ Warren, Domantas Sabonis, and also Miles Turner. An all 80 overall starting lineup. The Pacers actually have something, and not only that, they have Jeremy Lamb coming off the bench. Dude, they actually have a pretty good team so far. And now for the most interesting team in the NBA, the Pelicans, who have Drew Holiday still. They got Brandon Ingram, they got JJ Redick, they have Derek Favors, they have Zion, they have Jahlil Okafor, Lonzo. I mean, dude, they got a team. Here's the thing, Lonzo Ball is the starting point guard at 77, Drew Holiday at 86, Brandon Ingram 81, Zion Williamson 84, maybe 83, Derek Favors 80 overall, with JJ Redick coming off the bench, Jahlil Okafor, who had a really good season last year, coming off the bench. And the bench isn't even that bad with Josh Hart, Etwan Moore, Christian Wood. Like, they actually have a solid bench. This team could be really good. Now, they could maybe do this, make Drew Holiday the point guard, and then make JJ Redick the starting shooting guard, and then make Lonzo come off the bench, maybe. I don't know if they're going to do that, but still, that's a possibility. The Pacers now have Derrick Rose, so now they have Derrick Rose point guard. But you know what they should do? They should have Reggie Jackson maybe be the shooting guard or something. I don't think that'd be the craziest thing they would do, but I don't know what they're going to do with Reggie Jackson. Maybe he can come off the bench, but Derrick Rose, maybe he should come off the bench. I don't know what they're going to do there. But that's actually a really good pickup for the Pistons. Important pickup for the Pistons. Now for the Raptors, the problem is we don't know if Kawhi is resigning. Either they're going to be a great team or they're going to be a good team, and that depends on Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi comes back, they could repeat for all we know, but we don't know that yet. The Rockets didn't do anything, man. They re-signed Gerald Green, and that's it, dude. They made no moves, and that's bad for the Rockets, but they still have a solid team. They should still be able to be competitive. We'll see. The Spurs also didn't make really any moves. The only person they signed was DeMar Carroll, which is a good pickup for them, but even then, man, Spurs needed to do something. They have Jonte Murray, Derek White, DeMar DeRozan, Rudy Gay, LaMarcus. What I think they should do, or they could do, is if you can get DeMarcus Cousins for cheap and just see how he does, I think the Spurs should do that for like a 1 or 2 year deal. just to see, take the risk. Why not? It's the Spurs. If anyone can make him a very efficient, great player, it's the Spurs. I think they should take a chance, but that's an opinion. For the Suns, they now have Ricky Rubio, so I guess that's a point guard. He's not a bad point guard. He'll work with it. He's been a starter for like almost his whole career, so that's not bad. Devin Booker's still there. Kelly Oubre's still there. They have Dario Saric, who isn't awful, and DeAndre Ayton is assumed to be even better next season. And they pick up Frank Kaminsky. We'll see what they do. They also have Aaron Baines, the GOAT, right? So we'll see what the Suns try to do. I don't know if they're going to be good enough to make the playoffs again, but we'll see. Thunder did absolutely nothing. The Timberwolves did pick up Jarrett Culver. They drafted him. And now they have Jordan Bell, which is a good pickup in my opinion for them. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything with that, but we'll see. I don't think they make the playoffs either, but we'll see. Now the Blazers have Hassan Whiteside now. Realistically, Hassan Whiteside is going to be the starting center, while Nurkic will be like the power forward. And then maybe Kent Bazemore will be like the small forward now that they have Kent Bazemore. But they also have Nasir Little, so it depends how good he is. They have Mario Hezonja. They have Rodney Hood. Those are all options that could be that small forward position. Everybody else is filled, and I think this could be a really good team if they do this right. They need to make sure they can fill that small forward position correctly, though, and that's going to be important. But I think the Blazers could have to be sleepers next season. We'll see. Now, here's the weird team, the Warriors. Now that they have Curry, D'Angelo Russell at the shooting guard position because Klay Thompson's injured. They have D'Angelo Russell, which is like the weirdest thing ever. Alfonso McKinney, that's the one position they're like missing, is a small forward position. Maybe it could be Alfonso McKinney. Draymond Green still obviously the power forward, and then centers is Kevon Looney. I think that's a good center. Why not? It's a small forward position. I don't know. It's a pretty important position to not have. They're weak there, and some of the best players in the NBA are the small forward. And I don't know if they're going to have anyone to guard him. Sure, they have Draymond, but even Draymond, they usually put Iggy on the good small forwards in the NBA. And now they don't have him, so I don't know what they're going to do there. They're going to have to see. And finally, for the Wizards, John Wall, Bradley Beal, who they're trying to trade apparently. Jonathan Simmons, maybe. Roy Hachimaru at the power forward, and then Dwight at the center, maybe. They have Isaiah Thomas now, too. John Wall might be injured for the start of the season, so you can put Isaiah Thomas in at the point guard, maybe. Still, this team is so dysfunctional, they're not making the playoffs either, I think. That's it. That's everybody. What do you guys think? What is your favorite team so far for NBA 2K20? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like my channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.
Did you call bank?